Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I like you.
That's nice. I like you too. Okay. Kristina said we have to check all the levels after we go on air. As usual.
Yeah. Let's see. How are they?
I wouldn't know. I'm not the sound techie person.
Let's see. Can you just say la la la
La la la la la la la la la la la. Yeah?
It's good, I think.
All right.
It's a little loud, but we'll see if we...
It can't be loud. We're not even going into the green
but
over there.
it goes from there to there to there, and there's controls on each device. So it has to go through 3 gain stages.
Gotcha. I'm going to yawn right now, and I won't yawn anymore, okay?
You can yawn. It kind of relaxes me when you do that.
Can you get any more relaxed?
You are actually going into the red.
That's just because I yelled for a second.
There. Okay.
I just tried to make a list of what I did this week. It's not very interesting, but...
Yeah, but you yourself are so interesting. That's what's beguiling about this whole situation.
Okay.
Is that how can such an interesting person have such a boring memory? You're making your life boring? Because it's not a boring life. It's really an interesting life.
I know. I kind of zoned out this morning, but...
Well, you can
I'm going to come into it. Hold on.
Start with your grocery list, like I always do. Cat food.
Yeah, I have to buy cat food now, too.
Woo!
Cat ladies unite.
Woo! I so much need cat food.
You have more cat than I do.
Yeah, that's why.
One more cat than I do.
I so much need the cat food in a bad, bad way. Sorry,
one of my cats likes the squishy soft food, which I thought all cats liked because that's the squishy expensive stuff. And then the other cat, the more orangey cat, only likes hard food.
Yeah, but the question is, do you like the squishy soft food?
No, it's disgusting.
Then don't get it.
You open it and squirts pukey salmon juice on you or something.
Well, we've talked about this before a long time ago before you had cats. I think we had an in-depth discussion about cat food. I make John deal with the soft cat food because it's gross. And I don't even like fish myself, so dealing with it in the context of squished up and smelling even worse than it does normally is just not my cup of tea. So. Yeah, I just realized that product, that commercial product, is so repulsive to me that I think there's probably a good reason. And so I buy tuna fish, which I know is politically incorrect, but I just can't find a good solution. I mean, if I could go out and fish for my cats, catch them a trout.
You can get little cans of chicken, too. They like that.
You can get canned chicken.
I guess it's going a little higher up the food chain than I want to go. I want to stick down with the fish area if I can, but but that's hard. It's hard.
I thought you gave them sardines sometimes.
Those
are salty, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, that's anchovies. Well, I mean, I guess they're not naturally salty.
All salty.
They are packaged that way, right?
They weren't so much into it. One of them was I'll get it once in a while. I'll get some sardines.
Domestic cats, they're kind of just like, why are you giving us something with eyes? We don't want this. Is that what the problem is?
No, they kill stuff all the time with eyes.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, I guess so. My cat brought a chipmunk into the shower stall.
Nice.
And it was zooming all around, and I was trying to catch it, and I couldn't catch it, and finally I screamed for John, which was very ridiculously feminine of me. I like chipmunks even, but it just was like so zoomy and unpredictable in the shower that I was a little freaked out. And so he came in and shut the door behind him. And he opened the bathroom door, which was kind of a duh moment. I mean, the bathroom window. And just shoot it out the window. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? I was trying to just chase it all around the bathroom and catch it in a Tupperware container. And it's like, boom, boom, boom. Like, I couldn't even see it go. It just would be here and then here and then here.
And how are you feeling today?
I'm okay now.
You look recovered. I know
recovered.
You're a little bit lacking in sleep, but otherwise I think you got through that pretty well. Unscathed, in fact. So was that the high point?
The high point. No.
What was the high point of your week?
Let's see.
Or the low point's good too. I mean, either one is good. They're kind of equal.
We went to a lovely musical last night at Unadilla Theater. We went to see the Gondoliers, and that was fun because it was actually, normally when you go there, it's community theater, so most of the people who are in the plays are in their, 80s, and they're trying to do plays that involve characters who are not in their 80s. Mm-hmm. So it's a little confusing. Like last time we went to see the Mikado, and there's a whole bunch of elderly women singing, "Three little maids from school are we?" And my kids are looking at each other in confusion and looking at me and be like, they're not three little maids from school. And I'm like, use your imagination.
That's right.
But last night there were actually children and young people, and it was
mixed.
It was a better cast of ages so that people could actually play somewhere near their appropriate age range.
That's community theater.
And my kids thought it was very funny. Although at one point near the end, the king of Venice is being crowned, and there was kind of a quiet moment for a second while they placed the crown on his head, and my older son Eli, who's usually very polite in public, remarks very loudly, "That is so totally a Burger King crown." At the time. I don't think he meant to be loud. He was just trying to get his voice past the two people between he and I so that I could hear him, but
that's so
pretty much everybody in the back heard him. And
I think there's something about the Burger King crown this week because I had a guest who booked a room in my house this week, and I went to check out his profile because I always like to do that before I approve of the booking.
Yep.
And the guy's profile picture was him with a Burger King crown on.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm sorry to say it looked a little creepy to me.
Yeah.
But the guy, he checked out. I think he's an okay guy, but I'm going to tell him if we become friendly a little bit, I will say, you might consider changing your profile picture. It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
I don't want to see people around my place with a Burger King crown.
No. That would just be awful.
It's scary.
I haven't even been to a Burger King probably in 20 years. I didn't know they still had those.
You know what it is? I just figured it out. I made the connection with clowns. It's that clown fear. Yes, it is.
That's McDonald's. The clown is at McDonald's.
But they all kind of mush together into this big scary mass.
Fast food mascots or whatever.
Well, you think these chintzy crowns, you think of clowns. Right? And then you just want to hide from this whole society of clowns.
I think you're thinking of Ronald McDonald, who's the clown.
He's part of it, but it's a larger conspiracy of clowns.
Yeah, I don't love clowns. But how come you don't love clowns? You went to mime school.
That's different.
Something. No, mimes are clowns. They're like goth clowns.
Yeah, but they don't dress up funny.
Yes, they do.
They do not.
They're all in black with white faces and little like weird. They have clown faces.
That's beautiful and aesthetically pleasing.
It's clowny. It's clowny and
stop
black
it.
and white. It's like if you sucked the color out of a clown.
You have
instead.
a clown bias. You're pro clown.
What about that creepy clown scare on Halloween where they're killing people? Look how high up those kids are kicking. Oh, the kids just got their big rubber ball stuck in the tree. Now they're going to be crying.
You're not supposed to be watching
I couldn't help it. A giant red rubber ball just like bashed past our windows and now it's stuck in a tree. You think those kids were crying before. Oh, they're shaking the tree. Sorry, I'm really highly distractible and running on no sleep.
You can. It's easy for me to just start a new topic anywhere. Like, for example, here's a topic that I noticed as I listened back to our show. There's one word that I say too much. I kept listening and going, "Oh, stop it! Don't say that word again." Can you guess what it is? I don't think you will, but you just said it. Not clown. No, actually. The word actually.
Oh, I do say, it too.
But actually.
I say that word a lot as well.
For emphasis, but actually, believe me.
But I also say like in every sentence,
not
which
as
drives me crazy when I listen to
You're so much better.
I made a conscious effort a while ago to not say it.
I think it worked.
I forget sometimes.
But it's more acceptable as part of the English language now.
Not when I listen back to myself. It's awful.
The syntax of our language has evolved, and I think it's more acceptable now to say things like...
Right, but it's not in every single sentence.
Things
That's weird.
Like.
I'm a writer. I can't even stand it if I reuse the same word twice in the same paragraph. So for me to use in my speech the word like in every single sentence is really upsetting.
Yes, but when you talk, you're trying to make a connection with people directly.
Yeah, well, what does like have to do with that?
It's a softener.
It's
like fabric softener.
It's the same as
is good.
It means that I'm indecisive or something. I don't know what it means, but I don't want to say
it's a way of saying stick with me. I'm really worth listening to.
No, it's not. It's I hate that I say it. I hate it.
It's a sign of insecurity. Yes. But that's okay. It's okay to be insecure.
Well, what is actually a sign of? I've never noticed that you say that.
That I say or actually?
No, actually.
I do.
I know that I say it because that's one of the words when I proofread anything I've written, I have to go back and take it out because I've used it twice. Always.
Yes, and I probably say, do I say yes or yeah? There's some variation on the word yes that I do that I'm not really excited about.
If I'm in a bad mood and I listen to John on the telephone, he says, right. Over and over and over again until I want to like hit him over the head with something. I want to like jump in front of the phone and be like, stop saying right.
Well, how do you like it when people say, and I've been doing it more because it's creeping into our speech patterns, is when people say, and so the guy went to the store, right?
I guess they're just looking for like affirmation that you're listening.
But even political commentators that I respect.
People say okay after it too. And so I went here, okay, and then I did this and this and this.
Actually, I was just going to say actually, but I caught myself just in time. I cut it right off.
Oh, swallowed that word.
Ooh, that was good.
People also end their sentences with question marks now.
What is that all about?
I think we're all just really fricked up.
Yeah, we're confused about whether people want to hear what we have to say. Why do we have to think so hard about it?
I don't know.
Couldn't we just relax and like have parties that are relaxing?
What?
You know how stressful parties can be. I just want to have a party that I enjoy, that with people that make me feel like myself. Is that so hard? Is that so much to ask for?
That means that only like you and I can have a party together. Because then,
if we could start
most
with
other
two,
people freak me out.
But if they say
we
that,
can add to it slowly.
They say when two people come together,
it's a party
to meditate. That
I don't really meditate.
That the master
That's all you.
That the master comes. No, I'm using it as an analogy.
I don't want any. What?
The teacher. The guy who does it better. That's all. That's what a master is. He just does the thing that you're doing better. Like a craftsman.
I don't
The
understand.
master craftsman.
What?
He's the master craftsman of
Who is?
Meditate the Master.
Who? I don't understand.
I don't want to talk
Are you
about
making
that.
some sort of biblical reference?
No, this was an analogy. And I've forgotten what it was for. Now it's useless now.
Not a single word that you've said in the last
All right.
1 minute has made any sense to my
Let's
head.
go back to my grocery list.
Okay.
Cat food. All right. And the gift of marbles. Duffy gave me her marble collection.
Oh my gosh.
It was a big deal.
This is so weird. We always have these odd parallels going on in our weeks. I was in my old bedroom at my mom's house trying to get a few things that I needed for work because I store some of my costumes there because I don't have a lot of room at my house for them. And I pulled open one of my bottom bureau drawers to see what my mom possibly had been storing in it. And the whole thing was full of marbles. And my mom was like, I just been putting everybody's marbles in this drawer.
Mom, thanks.
And they're not like nice marble. I mean, but they're all the marbles that we always had. But then she told my kids this story about always playing marbles when she was little. She lived up in this sort of suburb in Windsor called Weston Heights. And she said there was this one bigger boy who always won everybody's marbles. And everyone was really sad about it. And then once a summer, he'd have a scramble party. And he lived at the house at the top of the hill.
Like an Easter egg hunt, kind of?
Yeah, so he'd go at the top of the hill. And he'd get everybody lined up at the bottom of the road. It was, this blacktop road, and he'd yell scramble, and he'd dump everybody's marbles back, and they'd all go and gather up marbles, and he'd give them all back.
Just tell me, was that nice, or was it kind of demeaning to be crawling around after your marbles?
I don't know. Yeah, I always feel embarrassed for kids who are getting the piñata junk.
I hate the piñata.
It's a bad thing.
I'm sorry. I don't like the idea of just whacking something until it breaks open.
I don't like the idea of anybody throwing something for anybody on the ground either. Like when they throw candy in parades. Which I think they should stop doing because you know what? Someday some little kid is going to step right out in front of a fire truck to get a roll of Smarties and get smushed.
They do that, but you know what I really don't like about piñatas? I don't want to stop talking about piñatas.
Okay, what?
They blindfold you. That's so embarrassing. You want to be blindfolded.
And then everyone laughs when you swat at the air.
Yeah, I would, when I used to be a kid and I'd have to go to parties and it would be required to do stuff like that, I would be mortified.
I know, but you know what, Kristina? They've changed piñatas now, and it's almost aggravating the opposite way because every little child now is so precious that we can't hurt their feelings at all. So instead of anybody hitting at the piñata or having to worry about feeling bad, they have piñatas that have long streamers coming down out of them. And each kid gets a turn to pull a streamer, and one streamer just releases it, so it's random, and nobody hits it or anything.
Well, that's like what we used to do at my birthday parties, where I would, we'd have the prizes in a box, and then you'd wrap it 20 times.
Oh, yeah.
And so you'd pass it around, and the last person who opened the last layer of wrapping paper got to distribute the prizes.
Well, I like that old tradition of the plum pudding. You put this, and it's not really plum pudding, but the little Jack Horner sat in the corner.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't sit in the corner. That's Little Miss Muffet. No, I don't know, but he put in his thumb and pulled out a plum. That nursery rhyme?
Yeah.
Well, it's based on this tradition where you have a plum pudding, but in the olden days, people didn't really use plum pudding. They just used kind of like a big bran mash in a giant, giant pan, and they wrapped little gifts and hid it inside the bran mash, and then had colored ribbons going out, and everyone gets a turn to pull something out of the quote plum pudding.
Oh.
But that seems silly too. Like you're gonna cook your
that's a little TMI
in the
for me.
Pudding.
It's too much information.
What about that baby cake, the king cake, where you slice it up? This is like a New Orleans thing, right? And somebody's piece has the little naked baby and cooked inside of it, and then you get like good luck.
You know so much stuff that I don't know.
It's king cake, but it has a little like dead naked baby plastic cupie thing cooked inside of it, which is a little.
That goes back to clowns.
Weird. It does not. Clowns aren't naked or babies, usually.
Well, little plastic naked babies coming out of cakes really gives me the creeps. There's other things that give me the creeps.
Okay.
But I wanted to talk about chocolate cake instead.
All right.
Because you were on a cake theme, and I thought, what a fortuitous segue that I could make to my chocolate cake comments, which is that there was a new research that says that chocolate cake is good for breakfast.
No, that new research was done by you, I think. I think that's you saying chocolate cake is good for breakfast, and you're pretending that you saw research about it.
Well, it was kind of like
so on to you.
It was sort of pretend because I saw it on Facebook.
I don't like chocolate cake because it just tastes like chocolate bread. It's not chocolate enough.
No, but it
needs to be like chocolate.
This research, this very top secret research said or concluded that the researchers themselves ate the cake each morning and it actually helped them work. And this was very scientific.
A boost of sugar in caffeine in the morning is probably what most people need to kickstart their day. I don't know.
I just wonder how these people get
coffee
jobs.
Cake? Coffee cake is a thing, probably for a reason. Danish. It's all like cakey, and you eat it in the morning.
Think of all those people who have jobs creating clickbait like that.
I know. They just can dream up something like, let's see if it's good to masturbate 17 million times a day, and then they will go test it.
Wow.
I get paid for this.
That's amazing. The things that people do for work. This guy, I kept getting this really annoying email from a guy from Houzz.com, HOUZZ.com, which is where I have my landscaping business. It's one of the places where I advertise my landscaping business. Okay. And this guy kept contacting me because they wanted me to do more marketing. They want to sell me some kind of marketing product. Mm-hmm. And so I kept deleting and deleting. And then the guy acts like he's taking it personally that I'm not responding. So I finally, yesterday, I just said, I'm going to respond to him. And I said, hi, you got the wrong idea about me. I'm actually a musician who does landscaping as a part-time job. And, if you need a place to record your next album, why don't you check out my website? I gave him the link. And he wrote back and he said, well, actually now I'm working full time for Houzz, but when I do get ready to record my next platinum album, I will contact you.
I assume he's joking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But you see, you can be friendly with these awful telemarketing people. You can make friends.
They're just people too. Maybe.
Try to do it. I did it with a guy from QuickBooks. I did it. I told him to get another job in a nice way.
My dad makes him never want to call his house again because he just starts asking all kinds of personal questions, or he just starts talking nonstop about something like fishing or just something. He asks them where they're from, and then he goes into all kinds of details, well, how's the fishing there? Or just completely off topic.
Awesome.
And I think that gets you put on the do not call list faster than putting yourself on the do not call list.
Yeah, we should all just try it. Kill them with kindness.
That's right.
All right, that's how to stamp out telemarketing. So here's a track of music. Okay, it's a pretty short one. I just picked a playlist from 2013. Then it's Nancy in the Mud Bog.
That is so 2013, Kristina.
Do you remember playing Nancy in the Mud Bog?
Nope.
All right, let's find out what it is. Here we go. That must be from Cape Breton.
Sure sounded like it.
That
Little
was
clackety clack 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 things going there.
Yeah, pretty cool that Randy Levitt just biked the Cabot Trail.
He did. I've been on parts of it, but certainly not the whole thing. I can bike for about 2 miles, and then I'm moaning.
Yeah, he implied that it was life-changing, so we'll have to see what that means. Isn't that great when you do something in your life that you can come back and actually I said, I'm sorry, I said actually.
It's okay.
You can catch me.
I didn't even notice.
Why do I say it?
I don't think you say it that often.
Word. I just don't need it. Let me rephrase the sentence.
Well, you can write it in big red letters on the...
I did. I covered it up. Okay, here it is. Actually, in quotation marks. There it is.
That's what I did a couple times with like... But it didn't work, and I gave up, and I'd have to do it every single day to make it happen.
Did you ever do something that changed your life?
Yes, but I never realized that it's life-changing until afterward. It's so interesting to me that Randy's doing something, and he's realizing right then that it's life-changing.
Well, he got to the end of it.
Right. But even when I'm at the end of something, I guess I don't realize it's life-changing until I've stepped back from it.
You need to reflect on it and see it from a bit of a distance to go, oh my gosh, that was life-changing.
Lots of things have been life-changing.
Lots of things. But we make decisions all the time that I guess take us on a certain path of many windings.
Yeah. I mean, there's the obvious ones, the biggies, like having kids and stuff, like birth, very life-changing. I couldn't believe I lived through it. And that was like, whoa, I just lived something so insane. Like that was just realizing even that, more than just the parenting and all that what came after, just the physicalness of being turned into some sort of tortured animal and then coming out the other end of it was bizarre to me.
Right. The system has been set up in a way that taxes our patience.
Yeah.
To say the least. But that's what we're here for. We're here to do some work. And occasionally party down. But speaking of neighborhood parties, I know that you have a neighbor who's been doing neighborhood parties this summer, and that's
and they're not even from here; they're from Massachusetts. But every time they come over, they have a party, and
that's nice.
And then I drink alcohol, which is bizarre because I don't even drink.
I love that that's happening for you. I love that you're loosening up. Look at you in your Victorian clothing, and just to imagine you sitting and relaxing with a glass of wine, it just fills me. Or
never wine.
Okay, it's hard liquor. Whatever.
Yeah, it is.
That's great. It feels so like this is the way life should be lived.
Yeah, but I need to I do not know how to
drink responsibly.
No, I mean I've gone many years without drinking at all, so I would say that's vaguely responsible. But I guess this is everybody's problem when they get to drinking. I think I'm so freaking hilarious. Like I actually tipsy, and I've never been really drunk, but just tipsy, I'm convinced that I'm hysterical.
You know what that is?
And it's so awful, it's so embarrassing.
Wait a minute, that's not right.
Because I'm not. I'm not funny.
You are actually... Just stop me right there and kill me.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't even notice you said the word.
This is what you're doing. The word. This is what you're doing. You are letting your hair down.
Right, but it's embarrassing because I think I'm funny, but I'm not.
But you're just...
And I go with that, and everyone's probably... Who isn't as drunk as me, because it doesn't take as much for me to get drunk.
What is the taboo against enjoying yourself?
No, I don't want to be the only one cracking up over my own stupid jokes. No, the other people are cracking up at me being stupid.
Can I tell you that when you crack up over your stupid jokes, it makes you even funnier? And
I'm not funny.
You're a born entertainer.
Well, not that way.
Yes, you are.
Nope.
They're laughing at you.
I know they are. That is not entertaining.
But that is a way of bringing joy into the planet.
Right, but I'm not realizing that they're laughing at me. I think everyone's laughing with me, and that's humiliating later on, because I was like, wow.
And here you are alive to tell the tale and smiling about it and blushing a little bit. But I just wish I could go to those neighborhood parties. But I have my own neighborhood parties.
You'll have to come. You would like them.
Bill and Tanya have been doing these great parties, I don't know, maybe twice a year. Mm-hmm. And they'll go and they'll bring together neighbors that none of us have met each other because we're all such independent Yankees who just drive by each other. And it's fascinating and wonderful to meet these people. And because we don't talk politics, you can appreciate people who are on the other side of the fence. And I think this is what we need. We just need neighborhood parties. Because you're going to find it runs the gamut, and you need to make those connections and understand that political views are sort of culturally impugned into people. So it's not something to dwell on.
If you can.
I mean, in a negative way towards people personally. I don't think it's a place to dwell. It's certainly a place to dwell if you want to be an activist. But anyway, so, I got all kinds of things to talk about. You want us to go back to the grocery list?
Okay.
Cat food.
We've never finished this, so go back.
That's all I have on my list, actually.
Well, what do you eat? Just cat food?
Oh, do I look like I just eat cat food?
No. Well, I don't know.
I've been having really strange eating habits this summer.
I have too.
Yeah, it's been
mostly brie, but that's not strange for me. I mean,
yeah. I don't know when you sort of cross that line when busy becomes too busy or obsession becomes a kind of neurotic of detriment to your well-being.
I eat standing up, and brie seems pretty well suited for that.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, what then?
I'm just. I know that how we eat relates to what our life is like in terms of busyness and work schedules. Definitely, there's a correlation between the two, but I'm trying to be a little bit self-analytical about how obsessed I've been lately about my work. I mean, I just kind of live in my bubble until I have to go outside of it and like earn a living.
That's okay, isn't it? I mean,
your
bubble is your work too.
Well, it's a little bit like you were feeling a little bit ashamed of the fact that you laughed at your own jokes and your own funniness, and I feel a little bit ashamed that I am so focused on my work to the exclusion of many, many other things.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like when I don't want to do something with someone else because I'm just perfectly happy.
Yeah.
By myself or with my family. It makes me feel like we're behaving so exclusively that we're better than whatever else is going on or whatever else I need to be doing. I don't know.
Yeah, and part of my my over focus on my work is lack of family because I don't have my kids are all grown and gone and I'm divorced, and so I just want to go back in the headphones. And when I come out, I go sit on the porch and I just dream. I have that beautiful summer dream of Vermont. You sit and look at the trees and the birds fly by, and the feeling of benevolence overtakes you, and you fill yourself with a dream of what you want your life to be, and you do that for 5-10 minutes. Then you head back into the headphones. It's pretty dang good.
I could be that way too.
Yeah, it's just when you have kids, it's sort of a different phase of life. You can't be as introspective. You can't, you don't have those quiet moments, really, or they're very hard to come by. Maybe at 2 a.m. when you wake up, you have a quiet moment.
I don't think I get to go to sleep until 2 a.m. The kids have had this clubhouse they've been working on for like 2 years, and we've had to take it apart and rebuild it several times because we did it all wrong or whatever. But anyhow, it was finally finished. Well, not finished, but enough so that, they've been just dying to sleep out in it. But I said they couldn't sleep out in it until it got really a little bit closed in from the bugs, because my littlest guy, Ira, is super sensitive. He just laid there all night. The mosquitoes would just suck him dry and he'd be covered in horrible bites. And so I said, you have to have like window screens and things like that on before you can sleep in here. And that was finished the other night. But as I knew, they didn't, of course, want to sleep down there by themselves. So we slept down there with them, and was a nice idea, but it was pouring rain. It didn't leak, but it was so loud. We had covered the roof with a tarp because it doesn't have the metal on yet, and so the ridgepole had a gap, and just rain on a tarp above your head is really loud.
Super loud. It's a little bit like sleeping on my couch in a rainstorm because I have that low roof over the couch, and it's it's standing seam.
Yep. And normally I love the sound of rain at night. It makes me so happy to sleep. I actually sleep. See, I said actually. I sleep much better when it's raining because in my head it means that it's okay for me to take a break because it's raining. I'm not expected to do anything. I'm not expected to be someplace, or I can't be out doing chores or just rain to me is relaxing because rain means cancellation, everything, whatever potluck or whatever thing you had to do right now is not happening any longer. You can relax. So in my head, that's what rain when I'm sleeping feels like.
It gives you some breathing room.
Yeah.
I
but
agree.
Rain on a little tiny cabin roof 4 feet above your head on a loud tarp all night long.
Not conducive.
No, it was super loud.
No. I see.
So I didn't get any sleep that night.
I see.
Last night we were out late to the play, and I forgot as we were coming home that the bridge was out in Chelsea, so our drive was extended a bit while we went back and went around the very long detour. But you have to do that now all the time.
Yeah, they don't mark Densmore Road as an official detour, I think, because it's sort of one lane at a certain point, and some of the sides of the road are falling off.
Yes, all the roads are falling off right now.
I know, so I think that you're not supposed to go that way. But the funny thing is, coming here, there were no signs for any detour of any kind. I don't know where people are. People must be confused if you don't know the back roads around Chelsea.
They must know where to go, though. I mean, everybody knows
where to go. What if you just were a tourist and you just happened to ignore the signs?
We don't have a lot of those right now.
Oh, there's a few.
Well, then they have to.
I mean, I know.
Does GPS even work there?
I know.
I don't think it does.
Well, it works. It just doesn't always give you good information. I mean, it'll work. It'll tell you to go somewhere, but you might not want to go there.
Right.
So just be careful. That's a cautionary tale. Yes, so Personal Growth Friday.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Till what?
To grow. Till the next song.
But all right.
We can go over a little bit. Do you mind if I put my boot up here on the table?
No.
It's a pretty...
Have you not? My feet are always in some weird place.
Okay, for some reason, I feel more comfortable with my leg up there. Okay, so my personal growth topic I came up with, it was inspired by our president, who evidently told the First Lady of France upon meeting her that she was, quote,
Don't
beautiful.
Say our president. What? Okay, sorry.
What do you want me to call that guy?
I don't know. Go. All right, continue your story.
So he evidently told her, and I saw it, it's been recorded on a video, that the first thing he says out of his big mouth is she was beautiful and she was in good shape. So I just want to discuss the nuances of complimenting a woman for her looks.
Well, yesterday I saw a video that said, when you meet a little girl, whether you already know her or not, or if she's the child of a friend or a niece or whatever, the first thing you should not always say to them is, "You look so pretty today," or anything like that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just over and over and over again, it's being reinforced ever since they're tiny little children that the first thing people notice about them and their absolute worth is just wrapped all up in how they look. You're supposed to say something like, "Oh, I love blue too. What's your favorite?" Just anything like that is not remarking on their looks. It's all we do is we say like, "Oh, don't you look pretty today?" It's the first thing always that you say when you see a little girl.
Also, imagine this. Imagine if the First Lady of France looked at what's his name and said the first thing out of her mouth was, "Wow,
you're fat and hideous."
Looking good." No, I mean if she looked him up and down, as if to see under his clothing and made some comment about his body. Because really what it is, I mean, when a guy does that, it's creepy because, he's stripping you down in his mind to
you're a nobody. You're
to
not,
make an assessment.
He's not saying, "Hi, Minister to France," or anything like that. He's saying like, hi,
Well, he's basically
lady,
saying
who's the same as all ladies.
Here's an interesting aspect of it, is that it puts it on the woman rather than saying what he should do if he was really honest is he'd say, I'm feeling sexually attracted to you. Because that's what he's saying, but instead he puts it on her like she's, oh, well, you've been working out, whatever. And it may...
So she's the one creating the sexual attraction for his benefit?
Well, it's trying to create a relationship between him and her that she doesn't want, I'm sure. And that's like 80% of the time, you don't want it, you know? Occasionally.
I was also just reading an article about the way we word assault and rape and stuff. We always say blinkety blank, the woman's name, you know,
blinkety blank,
was attacked or was raped or whatever. We don't say blinkety blank, the man's name, raped.
That's right.
We always flip it so that the focus of the attention,
right, and it shouldn't be.
The whole sentence revolves around the woman who was attacked.
Yeah.
And so that automatically makes us think, you know, we're angling things already in a certain direction. Instead of saying so-and-so raped a woman, we say this woman got raped. Yeah. So it's, I mean, even if you studied English, the way the sentence is constructed puts the subject, it makes the woman be the subject of the whole thing. That's not the point. The point of interest should be the other way around.
Yes,
it's just wrong. It's all wrong.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, in the situation where women are getting comments about their body that they don't want, it's just a matter of teaching people to have more self-discipline with their mind, you know, to not run away on stuff that's irrelevant to what's going on. Just like, you know, you can't necessarily just walk up to some stranger and hug them, right?
Right.
You have to, and you shouldn't be assessing a person's body when it's a formal meeting about policy issues and diplomacy. You know, it's completely out of line. And I don't know. Eventually I think these things will get ironed out, but it goes both ways, of course. But it's much less common for a woman to look. I mean, it is especially happens with that age differential of an older man and a younger woman, that it's probably the most common. Well, maybe not, but that's certainly the most bothersome, because then it feels even more yucky, I think, when there's that age difference. But it doesn't go the other way hardly at all.
No.
So, you know.
Well, that's probably not true. Maybe in our minds, if we look at somebody and we are attracted to them, we assess them, but we do not remark on it, because that would not be right.
That's the self-discipline piece, is that women have taught to be disciplined in their mind.
I don't think that there's any difference in the hormonal levels of men and women.
Yeah.
At all. Like, I really don't. Like.
Yeah, but you don't, it's not, you know, you care about how people feel.
It's just not appropriate to behave that way.
Right.
So.
The train's coming.
I know.
What do you want to do about it?
I don't know. What do you want to do about it?
Just want to listen.
Throw yourself in front of it and be like, "Stop! I love you."
That's a good idea.
I
mean, metaphorically, it is.
Right.
If the train of love was coming towards me, hurtling itself towards me, I would stop. I want to get on.
You want to get on the train of love, or do you want to be run over by the train of love? Or do you want to be like...
Well, I like to be functional after the meeting occurs.
Right.
I don't want to be completely out of it. I would like to be able to participate in the experience of Love Train. Let's have a Love Train this week. Let's just have one. I love it.
That's a song.
Oh, speaking of which, you want to talk about songs?
Sure.
Because I know someday somebody...
You said we only had 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. But somebody is going to ask me one day, what is my favorite artist, musician?
Oh, yeah.
And I finally figured out what I'm going to say.
What?
Finally, I can answer this question.
Oh, my God. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, I'm going to say William Shatner, Rocket Man.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
For real?
That is my bar, where I set my bar.
Wow.
So check out that video.
Oh, the video.
William Shatner singing Rocket Man.
I didn't even know William Shatner's. Wasn't he the guy from 60 Minutes?
Oh my gosh. I'm so appalled that you don't know who William Shatner is.
Well, isn't it?
He was one of my earliest crushes. Although I didn't tell him because it wouldn't have been appropriate.
I've just always had a crush on Willie Nelson. But William Shatner isn't the guy from 60 Minutes?
No.
Who is that?
He's Captain Kirk.
Oh, right. But he's a singer too?
Oh, right. Actually, I knew that already.
No, I know he's Captain Kirk, but the singing business I'm not so sure about.
You check it out because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay.
It's so special. It's so special, and I'm going to go out and get all his albums.
You had a crush on Captain Kirk?
Yeah, I did, because he had some morality. He had morality, and as a child, that appealed to me. You know, it's campy now, but at the time...
He was kind of orangey, though. Like, remember? He was, like, always shiny. His face was, like, shiny and orangey.
Yeah, he's pretty white bread, but, you know, he still made some good decisions on the show.
Okay, but you know what? He didn't really make those decisions. The writers of the show made him make those decisions.
I know. He's just a puppet. But he's a puppet.
He's your little puppet.
He's my little puppet.
Okay,
I liked my little puppet, and now
check it out.
He's my fave.
Okay.
You know,
can he actually sing?
I'm not telling.
Oh
this
God.
This is something that you have to experience on your own. I once bought a William Shatner album, and I gave it to my husband's shop crew because I thought they're just totally going to get this and they're going to love this, and
they didn't
get it at all.
Oh my God,
they totally did it. You know who was it on the
crew?
crew?
Like your sugar packet collection that you got rid of.
Our fellow DJ Andy Bueller was part of that crew. It went over Andy's head. He didn't get it. So I guess it's something you just either feel it or you don't.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to the next track. I'm going to try to cue it because this is Bo. Got my attention.
Came in like a wake-up call. You was going away. You light a fire, but can't save the sparks. They float into thin air. I never meant it, even though I should have said it. By breaking my heart. I should have took you out on the town. I was cheap and misled. I wrote the book on bring it down. Then I made you read it. I never meant it, even though I should have said it. You really, really, really meant a lot. You got my attention by breaking my heart. By breaking my heart. A cold December, blanket of snow, another 12 months down the road. That stinging, ringing all night. shot. You got my attention by breaking my heart. Yeah, you got my attention by breaking my, got my attention by breaking my heart.
Little harmonica.
That was nice.
Harmonica action.
That was with Levon, I think, that one.
Cool.
I used to love singing that song. Got my attention.
Sweet.
All right. So let's moving right along to magazine subscriptions.
Do you have any?
Do you get any? Like real ones on paper?
We get the New Yorker. We get Newsweek. We don't get National Geographic anymore, which is sad. I like that one.
That's so funny. I gave up my subscription after decades.
It takes up so much space. Like, we have so many of them.
And in your barn is filled with them.
It's not anymore. Those are all gone. But I don't know where he put them.
He didn't get rid of them.
No, I'm sure he didn't.
They're just not in the barn.
They can't be in the wedding barn because that wouldn't be good, but there's someplace.
I guess that's the end of an era. The old barn where we sat in the hay wagon reading National Geographics. Nope. We can't do that anymore.
It's
slick
clean
now.
Clean all the time. Has to be clean all
we'll
the time.
We'll have to find another dirty place to hang out.
We have them, don't worry.
I know a few.
We actually get 2 New Yorkers every week.
Why?
I don't know why. We accidentally just
Do you give the other one to somebody?
Yes. Well, we actually donate it. See, I'm saying actually, we donate it to the library every week.
See, we're going to notice how we say actually. I'd like to figure out what
I don't know why you brought this to our attention, because I already had enough words to worry about using too much.
Sorry. We're here for self-improvement, remember? So we're going to do what we can. Well, do you want to know what I get? I get 2. I'm down to 2 subscriptions.
Wow.
Because I got a deal on the New York Review of Books. So I've been getting that. But have I been reading it? No. But I like having it because it makes people think I'm really smart when they see it and they come in my house. So I kind of like that as a prop. It's great. So if they have another deal on that, I am going to get it. Secondly, I get something called Tape Op, which is a recording magazine, and that's a really good one. And I still get it in paper, even though they try to get you, well, they don't try too hard to get you to do it online. They still appreciate paper, because they appreciate vintage recording, too, on tape.
We get other stuff, too, but I don't think they're things we subscribe to. I think they're things that just come. Like John's Harvard Review comes every couple weeks, but I don't think we subscribe to that. I think they just...
They send that. We get
they try to get money from you.
We get the Putney Post.
I love that they think that if you went to Harvard, you actually have money now to give them money. Like, their alumni things are always just like,
but
give us money. And I'm like, oh, guess what? We're the only poor people.
That's what I'm saying. You're unusual as a Harvard alumni. He's quite unusual that he chose farming, subsistence farming. But that's kind of cool.
And other things come. What are they? Well, like catalogs. Not catalogs, like actual subscriptions.
Yeah.
Does everybody in Vermont get Ella Bean? Do you have to order things from Ella Bean to get it?
I think at some point you have to have ordered something.
Okay.
Because I don't get it very much anymore.
That hasn't ordered something from Ella Bean.
Yeah, I haven't ordered anything from them in years. So I'm getting like 1 or 2. I might get one at Christmas, but yeah. So I just found out that my stepdaughter is importing olive oil from Italy. Somehow that didn't enter my consciousness until... Well, because she goes to visit my daughter, and so they met...
Legally? Is she legally bringing the olive oil?
She met a lot of small growers, and Freya turned her on to these small growers in Umbria, and so she made a connection with the growers, and then she came back to the U.S., and she... has figured out how to can it. I mean, I don't know if they're providing the cans. They must be providing them in Italy. But it's a special design that has their label, which is called Lincoln Standard. because they live in Lincoln, Vermont. So now
Oh.
if you want good olive oil that is straight from these small growers in Umbria, you can
That's
look
cool.
up online Lincoln Standard olive oil.
Sweet.
Because, the olive oil industry is really run by the mafia for the most part, and
Yep.
you can't trust what
How do
you're
you know this one's
seeing.
not? Maybe they're...
Well, Freya thought that it's pretty, she directed them to local people that she felt probably were a safe bet.
Or not from the mafia.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So I'll check it out. I mean, I just found out about it, so I'll do a little, investigative research on
There's
it.
an old Disney movie about olive oil. It's called Monkeys Go Home.
Yeah?
It's about this guy who buys an old rundown olive farm
Really?
in Italy, and he's a chimpanzee scientist, and he has this idea that he can train chimpanzees to pick the olives for him because you have to do it by hand or they get
Sure.
very bruised. So he spends all this time trying to train these little chimpanzees to pick the olives for him, and then this girl who lives next door falls in love with him, and she's always dressing his chimpanzees up in little clothes. And actually, my child has a crush on that. This is why we've seen this movie so much, because my kid has his first celebrity crush, which is silly because I'm sure this person is long dead. It's a movie that was made in like the 50s, so he has a crush on this French girl that helps train the monkeys.
That's cute.
But anyway,
Yeah.
it's a good old fashioned kind of movie.
That sounds great. I just have one quick question for you
Okay.
before we go off the air, because it's almost time to go off the air. And thank you for that story about chimpanzees. Okay, just quick question. If you had a box of cereal on the counter in your kitchen and it was upside down, would you turn it right side up?
Yes, but you have to be careful because there could be some sort of spillage. I hate when things in boxes get outside the little plastic bag.
I
and
agree.
Spill down
Oh
around
my
the edges.
gosh.
Because the crackers and stuff, you don't know they're down there, and then they
Yeah.
go stale, and it's such a waste.
Yes. I try to make sure that doesn't happen, but it's just me at my house. I don't have a family to police.
It just really bothers me when things get
All right.
outside that package.
Thanks for that. We
Welcome.
got to get off the air.
Okay.
Well, we've had a great time on 11th
Yeah.
Hour Radio, which we never introduced.
Shoot with Kristina and Emily on WFVRLP South World and Community Radio. Thank you to our
Yeah.
sponsors.
We're gonna see you next week. We'll catch up with the sponsors. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about you guys more next week because we didn't. Kristina can't make the music work though, so we probably should have talked about
Hey,
you
come on.
now.
It's tricky. It's such a tricky thing, Here we go.
There you go. Bye,
See
guys.
you next week.
First day of September, the goldenrod is going by. I can almost hear the gray geese on the wing. Sun is hot, the sky is clear, cricket song still fills the air, but I know autumn leaves will soon be falling. Seems like only yesterday the crocuses were on their way up through the thinning icicles, melting snow. Thought we had more time to do the things we planned all winter through. Where did those dreams of summer ever go? Give me time to read the fine print on this new page in my life. I know nothing lasts, but it all goes by so fast, so fast, it all goes by. Could it be just a month ago we left you in the earth below? A dozen black-eyed Susans in some graveyard grass. Married half a century, how can you be just a memory pressed behind a shiny piece of glass? I've no mother now to call my own, even though I know that I'm all grown. I wonder why you had to leave so fast. Thought you'd be around a while to answer all the things that now I'll never get another chance to ask. Give me time to read the fine print on this new page in my life. I know nothing lasts, but it all goes by so fast, it all goes by. new page in my life. I know nothing lasts, but it all goes by so fast, so fast, it all goes by. Now my son grows bigger every day, I can't even look away. He keeps changing every time I turn around. Won't be long before he starts trading all his baseball cards for car keys and the fast road out of town. Now summer's almost at an end, it's back to school and work, but then again maybe I'll stop and lift my face to the sun. Though the days may seem to race along at such a heady pace, I can choose to walk instead of run. Give me time to read the fine print on this new page in my life. I know nothing lasts, but it all goes by so fast, so fast. Give me time to read the fine print on this new page in my life. I know nothing lasts, but it all goes by so fast, so fast, it all goes by.